Women, wigs. What do you use to secure your wig? What kind of tools are out there that can ensure that your wig stays on for the entire day, whether you're running on the beach or in that airplane for over 10 hours or more? Come with me as I will share with you the tools of what you can use to secure your wig. Join the fun of my wonderful channel, Wig Fashion Fiesta. Come and let's begin. First, when you open up your wig, most wig companies actually include a cap, and it looks kind of like a nylon. Basically just putting a nylon on your head. And if you are a first-time purchaser of a wig, that is perfectly fine. I really highly recommend that you don't buy anything until you actually buy your very first wig. Do try the nylon cap, but then if you don't quite like it, then evolve into some other wonderful products. One product that I, due to my age, that I really like, but I don't wear this all the time, 100% of the time, and I do not think it's the best for me, and I'll share with you why, are these silicone strips. They expand, and the way they're made is that they have soft little bumps that go against your scalp, and then they have a little higher ridge of these bumps, which is where the wig would actually grab onto and help hold it. Now, when I did not have as much hair as I do now, my hair is very thin, but it did grow back. But when I didn't have it, these tended to work much better. But I have to be honest with you, I find particularly when I do my long international flights, it does tend to, after time, to slip. The whole wig just kind of slips, and I think it's because my hair is so thin. So there is a remedy, however, that I'm experimenting now with my travel, and that is to actually use either a little bit of castor oil because it's a little bit thicker, or to use coconut oil. And basically that goes on your hair, and of course you're going to have to wash your hair if you're ever, only because it is kind of oily, and a little bit of that oil and the residue could get in the inner lining of the cap of the wig itself. So just be kind of aware of that. But when I was doing these long international flights, I didn't want to be dealing with this slipping, and I'm experimenting. I'm not 100% convinced, but I do feel that by my putting some kind of an oil base on my own thin fibers, it gives a little bit more volume in holding it down. I think for those of you that have very thick hair and maybe long hair, these silicone will work just perfectly for you. But you know, one reason that I really like these is because it really pulls up and gives me like a mini facelift. It does. My lines up here just kind of are pushed right up. It's easy. So I think that's why I really fell in love with them. But for really long-term wear, particularly with travel, I really have gone to, I think, the really best solution that's out there on the market, and that are these Velcro. It has a Velcro, but these nice this fabric, which is like a velvet fabric. Now, I didn't know that there's a way of putting these on properly, and I was putting them on wrong initially, of course. What you want to do is that feel the actual fabric and make sure that when you put it on, that you feel a little bit of a pushback by pushing your own finger back. Let me share with you what I mean. Basically, here it is. I'm going to put it on, and I always pull it back, not right up to my scalp, and around the ears, and they have the Velcro in the back. Now, sometimes I have to kind of play around with it just to be sure that this is all flat with your ears. You don't want any kind of bumps or ridges. It's all flat. Now, this is what you want to do. Take your finger, and if it's real soft, you have it on backwards, take it off and turn it around. you'll feel a little bit of a resistance. And that makes sense, right? Because when you're putting your wig on, if it's going to start, and you have it down here, if it's going to start sliding, this gives a little bit of resistance in keeping it in place. And I really find in most of my wig research that most women that are highly sophisticated, they've been wearing wigs for years, they just talk about this band being the fail-safe tool for them that they tend to wear. Now, for those of you that don't have any natural hair, biological hair, I would recommend, highly recommend, that you get this same kind of a process with the fabric right here. And then this also has the cap. Now, the reason being is sometimes in your wigs, just the way that they're made, I'll show you as a perfect example. This is going to be hitting your scalp. And a lot of times, sometimes it could be itchy. And if you have very, very sensitive skin, up there with no hair, that might be a little itchy. So I highly recommend that you use this. In fact, what I am doing on my long international flights, rather than using just the band, I'm actually using this because I am putting that either coconut oil or putting some kind of a oil on my hair to give it a little bit of thickness. And this, though I have to wash it, this will capture a lot of that little residue of my own natural oil. Otherwise, I'm going to be having to wash my wigs a little bit more than I would have to because of that. But that's my own personal issue because of my thin biological hair. It's just slippery. It just tends to be slippery. So those are the two tools when it comes to the best band to wear for you. And also, when I do travel, I go one step further as an extra precaution. And I tend to use the fail-safe, good old bobby pins, right? The only reason is because I'm on these flights for a long time. I find that in the very back of the nape, I'll put in 2 bobby pins on either side, but I'll crisscross them. And then I'll put one here and one here. So I only use 4 bobby pins. But I do that as an extra follow-up when I'm wearing these wigs for a very, very long time. And I have not had any slipping or any kind of problems with that too, as far as with my wig and wearing it on an airplane for so long. So I hope that this has helped you. Please subscribe and do put in your comments. After all, we are a group, we are a community of women. No matter your age, you could be a teenager or you can be a baby boomer like myself. We all are girls and we're all having so much fun with these wonderful wigs. In fact, now that my own hair has grown back, I have evolved to loving wearing wigs of all colors. And I share with you from platinums to redheads to browns, my own natural color. But it's so much fun because they're made so well. And I'll get into the research of why they look real if you know how to place your wig on properly. Have a great day. Stay tuned for my next show.